everybody. Welcome to episode 108 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin. Who's monkeying around with me tonight?
Hey, that's my pudding, Michael K. Hughes. K-E-I.
And then Red Foxmon.
Red Foxmon. Welcome back again.
I think that's a Digimon.
I mean,
yeah, that's the thing about, as I was catching monkeys, like half of them have Mon, like at the end of the name. I was like, that's a very Digimon thing to do, besides it looking like Digimon, too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of peoples, too.
There's a lot of peepos. Overblood's going to be very happy.
If they listen to us.
Yeah, well.
So, Mike, why don't you introduce what we're playing, because this is completely your idea.
We were playing Ape Escape 3 from 2005.
2006 in America.
Yeah, well, whatever. Not
the
2002.
Japanese version.
I had I went into this game completely blind. I knew not what to expect. I never touched an Ape Escape game before. Mm-hmm. I had no bearing. I actually did not want to play this. I was trying to get you to change it, but it wouldn't work. You wouldn't let me.
No way.
When I would be like, we should change it out. You're like, nope. And I'm like, oh, great. We got to play this game.
Kind of glad you didn't, because I was a bit surprised, too, kind of getting into this. I went in completely blind. The closest encounter I ever had with Ape Escape, and you too, Mike, was actually Snake Eater.
Yep.
When they had that little mini game in there.
There's also...
I was a bit shocked that I couldn't use an easy gun in this.
They took that out of the HD re-release.
I have a plan that you need to because you haven't beaten this game yet, but once you do beat this game, you unlock something that we might be doing in the future. So
kind of curious now.
I'll post it. We'll talk about it later when we get there. But yeah,
all right,
we'll get there. But so for those that don't know, which is probably a lot of people listening, this is like a 3D platformer that's all about using the analog stick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the first game came out about the time that the DualShock came out, so they wanted something to uniquely use the right analog stick.
Which has its pros and cons, I feel.
Especially because this game kind of assumes that you have some familiarity with the series, so it doesn't give you a tutorial right away. It just drops you into, hey, catch this monkey. And I imagine you guys were a little confused on how you go about that.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure it out. I had to watch a video.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm like, I'm hitting X. What the hell's going on here? Like, I have the net selected. Why won't he use it? And I'm hitting R1, R2, L, hitting all the buttons. Nothing.
Well, you can imagine how pissed I was when I actually found out it was the right analog stick, and then it wouldn't go in the direction I wanted it to.
For those who don't know, you tilt the analog stick in the direction that you want to use the gadget you have selected. So it's not conventional buttons like in every other game ever.
The controls were, to say the least, especially to get used to, are a bit rough. Once you get used to them, they kind of feel right, but man, it's rough. It's a rough learning curve at first.
Mm-hmm. He said it doesn't give you the tutorial until after you catch that monkey, and then you have to go
what the hell was that?
Purposely select the tutorial thing to teach you how to use the gadget that you just used.
Yeah, it's like they're telling me how to use it. I'm like, I already figured it out.
I don't get why it's after. Because every other item you get a tutorial as soon as you get it, but the net is like, we don't give you a tutorial until after you catch your first monkey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that.
No, I don't know.
And they have cell phones, old, early cell
phones,
that tell you stuff, but they don't tell you how to use the net. I only figured it out because I watched a video, and he didn't say it either, but then he had a tutorial immediately afterwards, and then I understood how to use it. So I'm like, oh, okay.
I probably should have had the foresight to warn you about that.
Yeah, it would have made the game a little bit better for me, because at first, I was like, what the fuck are we playing? What the hell is this bullshit? But that went away pretty quick. So I know this game is a sequel. I've never played Ape Escape 1 or 2 or any one for that matter. But so the characters, the whole premise of the story in quotations of this game is that the monkeys that had been around in the first couple games have taken over the world by airing some kind of TV program and turning people into couch potato.
Yeah, so Spectre, who is the Dr. Wily of the series, he's been the antagonist in every game so far, breaks out again and lets loose all the monkeys again. And like you said, yeah, they make TV shows that are so dumb that people just can't turn away, and it entraps the protagonists of the first 2 games. So then we meet our new protagonists, Kei and Yumi, to go out and put a stop to their monkey shenanigans.
So Kei is a brand new character.
Yes.
I see.
Are they both brand new?
Yep.
So you get to play as the girl or the boy. I played the boy, even though I should have probably picked the girl. But
yeah, I picked the guy too.
I don't.
The cutscenes are very minorly different, just for flavor, and then certain monkeys, less than 10 or so, we'll see Yumi and get starstruck because she's a pop star in the universe. So that's really it. And then the morphs, which we'll get to, are a little different, but they perform exactly the same.
I read that the morphs were actually new to the third game.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to play this, because I know people like the first two, but they're kind of limited. Like, 2 focuses more on the gadgets that you get, and this one I feel like the morphs gives you a lot more variety to.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because I can't imagine how stale 1 of 2 might have been, without the morphs.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite. It's why I like this one. Yeah, so much more than the other one. Like, spoilers for the end of the episode, this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, PS2 game. Which is, I know...
he's boxing this for sure.
Right in the box.
I can understand why.
It's just one of those ones you pick up and play and just kind of
weirdly... It weirdly lures you in. Like, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon, yet they have adult references throughout. Mm-hmm. Like when I saw Exorcist in there, the little monkey head spinning, I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, the horror level's full of that stuff.
It had tons of stuff. The game is broken up into different levels, and each level is based on a type of movie, sort of, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't get all the references, but God, I was actually laughing a lot during this game, and that's not normal for me in games.
It's so lighthearted, and you're just meant to turn your brain off like they want you to do, like the characters do in the game, and just have a good time. Really, man, that's all it's for.
Because the whole story is that you're going to these different locations where they're filming TV shows, and you're trying to stop and catch all the monkeys and stop the show.
Right.
Essentially. God, is it? I mean, there's a story in between. Like, they pop up and go, "Oh, hey, we're going to this place next." I'm like, who cares? Let me go get more monkeys.
Oh yeah. I didn't give 2 shits about the actual plot going on. It was just I just wanted to catch the monkeys. That's all I cared about.
Story definitely takes a backseat to the gameplay, and then, like we talked about before the episode even started, the real plot doesn't even kick in until like the second to last level when they're like, "Oh, this is what we're actually doing." So, we'll get there.
Okay, I also did, like, when they showed the characters sitting on the couch, I didn't know who they were. I figured they were from the earlier game, but I had no idea.
Yeah, damn it. I know one of them's Spike, and the other one is Jimmy from the second game. And then the professor, who is, like, basically the same role that Aki serves in this game. She's just kind of the narrator, giving you new stuff.
So let me ask you, are the first and second games actually worth playing?
They're good, but like I said, this one just had more variety to it, so... It might be difficult to go back, but I know people like the second one a whole lot.
Really? It seems like that was more searched online than 3 was.
Yeah, I think by the time 3 came out, people just kind of stopped caring.
I could tell
the last main series.
Yeah, and it was in 2006, so 360 and PS3 were taken off, so no one wanted to play Ape Escape again, but now people won't shut up about wanting 4, so who knows?
Yeah, 4 anytime soon.
Nah, they had a Twitter... going, there was like celebrating the anniversary, and then after that the whole page got deleted, so it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, if it hasn't happened by now and you don't really hear anything, I mean, chances are it's not going to happen.
Unfortunately.
They can add maybe 50 more gadgets for you in the new one. God damn, how many gadgets do they have? And then it was always a new tutorial. Do you want to go to the training room? Not really. No, not anymore.
But 2 had, looks like 4 more gadgets on top of the ones that you get in this game.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's too many.
Yeah, this one's pretty light on the gadgets because, like you said, you get the morphs. So.
Well, yeah. So they had to kind of balance it out with that.
Right.
I thought they had many, too many morphs too, but the morphs were fun, I will say.
Yeah, a couple are, one is useless, but we'll get there.
They all have their use.
I really fell in love with with one of them, but with the ninja one.
Oh yes,
that's all I used once I got
it. Bet money on that one.
That's why it's the one when you go to select your morphs around the ring. That's why it's to the right, because it's always the right choice.
Oh,
it's the 3rd or 4th one you get, but it is the best one in the 3rd one you get, best one in the game, in my opinion.
It is really good. I will say the Kung Fu one I just got, I like that one too. That was pretty entertaining for me.
It is pretty good.
Yeah. So like Rich said, the morphs are new to this game in the series, and you get them based on tropes, I guess. Usually they fit the theme of the boss fight that you're about to go into, so you can kind of fight Kung Fu versus Kung Fu.
And at least the theme of the first level of that
Yeah.
that round or
Right.
so, yeah.
So, like, the first one you get is a fantasy night, and you go to a fantasy castle, and then you fight a big mechanical dragon with it.
That wasn't a bad fight, actually.
Oh no, it's pretty cake when you know what to do. Basically, fantasy night will block any attack in front of you. Now, this is where they kind of change depending on which character you have, because Kay gets an actual knight outfit, but Yumi gets more of a mage setup, where she's got a big magic rune in front of her that blocks all incoming damage. But they, like I said, they perform identically.
Which is cool. I'm glad they don't really like it. I didn't miss out on much by not playing as her.
Was not a fan of the night morph too much. Like, I feel like the shield, you were still able to get hit pretty easily, especially because you're not always facing the enemy when you're trying to get to them. So
it does have that sweet, when you click on the right stick, it sends off the shockwave that'll capture any monkeys in a 360 radius.
So I didn't know that at first until a couple morphs later. Like when I realized the other morphs had capture abilities, then I was like, oh shit, the knight must have one too. So I went back to it and found it, because I was like crawling to catch monkeys, like, because I didn't know how.
Crawling? What?
You didn't know you can crawl?
No.
Yeah, you can push in the left stick and then crawl and get them with a net.
Yeah, so
I never did that. I just ran and attacked them as much as I could.
You can sneak up on them. If you can get them from behind, you can usually catch them before they even notice you.
That's got to be a pretty big challenge to try to beat at least the majority of the game without more.
Oh man,
I don't think you could.
No, you really couldn't, because there are certain ones where you need like the ninja to walk on the tightropes and stuff.
Well, sure. I mean, other than like to actually capture them with a net, though, you know.
Yeah, I don't think you could either, because you really need them in some parts. I mean, that's how I would get all my monkeys later on. Like I because normally I would sneak up on them and grab them with the net, but it got to a point where I'm like, screw this shit. I just grab them all that way.
I would specifically morph just to catch one and just keep moving.
I don't have time for that.
I didn't care how open they were and how much I could sneak up. I did not care.
So you guys upgraded your morph energy, right?
Oh
yes.
By
that's
getting
where most of my money went to.
Yeah, you get currency. I think they call them gacha coins, and you can spend 300 to get another meter for the morph gear, and that's always the first 10 sets of 300 I get is to max that thing out.
Yep,
that's the same thing I did.
And then between each level, I would just go restore my HP with cookies and keep moving.
It's also there's so many different ways to do things in this game too. I would see, because I was using the guide off and on, like, not really until later after I was going back to the game, and say, oh, use this item or do this, and I did a completely different way, and I'm like, well,
yeah,
like there's and there's like one level that's based on a whole racetrack, and you're supposed to drive a car, and I'm like, screw that, anything. I just took the car passed by me.
That's another carryover from the first games. They really wanted to use the sticks in different ways. So like the rowboat you see in this one was in that, where you have to rotate the sticks like you would the oars to move. Okay. So yeah, the cars kind of control like ass.
Yeah,
any vehicle or boat or anything along those lines, the controls are all
the rowboat.
The rowboats, the tank that you get, like all of it was.
This is the first game that made a tank not fun to drive.
It's fine.
He's got playing Resident Evil all over again.
Yeah, he's got to think of it as like each stick controls the tread on either side.
Sure, yeah, I get it conceptually, but it was not that fun.
I had a really hard time with it. I kept screwing up.
The Cherub Monkey mech is probably the worst one, especially when you have to use it in the Tomoki boss fight at the end.
Yeah. Luckily, that mech keeps reviving. Also, like this game, with the extra life work, if you die during a boss fight, you just get right back into it and you use a life. So a couple of times I just tanked hits and just kept going.
It's pretty forgiving. It's definitely meant to be geared towards a younger audience, but there's nothing wrong with that. It just makes it fun. Less stressful.
It really was fun, though. Like, I mean, hell, there's one part I legit started laughing. There's a part you go to some level and you're in some, like, studio, and you see the Statue of Liberty and a monkey sitting on his knees crying. I just started cracking up.
Of course, the Statue of Liberty has a monkey face, because everything does in this game.
That's fine. It was Planet of the Apes references. I laughed as I took my net and shoved him in the net. It was great. I had no problem. Just went right in the net. Also, you get like one of the gadgets you get really early on is like a saber. It looks like a lightsaber, but it doesn't cut any monkeys in half, unfortunately. You just smack them in the face. It looked like a lightsaber to me.
Yeah, the stun club.
Which doesn't really do much for you because it just pisses them off.
Yeah.
Typically, yeah. Like, it stuns them just ever so slightly, but a lot of times it'll just piss them off and they'll come and take your shit from you.
Oh, the first time that happened to me, I was like, what the fuck? He hit me, took my net, and I'm like, what are you doing with my net?
Did you get hit
my
with the net?
lightsaber, dude. I was pissed.
Yeah, I went in the net, too. I found out, like, oh, welcome back.
Yeah, if they hit you with your net, they send you back to the start. It's good stuff.
I was at the end of a level when that first happened to me, and I was not happy. I was quite pissed off. But that's like the thing, the game, I wasn't ever really annoyed with it. Like, each level is so different. Like, the first one, you start off in, like, an island with a cathedral, and as the game progresses, you have, like, one is called Saruman's Castle, which, again, felt like Lord of the Rings reference, even though it really wasn't, like, Lord of the Rings level or anything. But everything is so different. You have a Wild West town at one part.
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't like, because I didn't enjoy the morph that you get, the cowboy morph. I didn't think it was very fun.
No, and the capture mechanic on that one is very inaccurate. Where they kind of shoot a net with a rifle, and it always seemed to miss for me.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite part.
But it's good for mini
it was hard to aim.
bosses.
Even the special ability too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the sniper rifle thing, that's useless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you get those monkeys that are in like the tanks or the UFOs. That thing is wild for taking them out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The ninja ability is damn near the same and more accurate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
When you hold down the capture, you do like a shotgun thing. You shoot out to catch a net. Was there like another special ability they had?
Yeah, you rotate the right stick and it'll lock on.
Okay, I didn't do that for that. I didn't do that for a lot of forms.
You're not missing anything.
You
the only one that's
tutorials. Did you skip the training rooms, Mike?
No, I did the training rooms actually. Not at first. I skipped a couple in the beginning because I thought, I can figure this out. It was later on when I realized, I can't figure this shit out. This game is complicated.
That's why I didn't know how to use the knight the right way. Because I skipped like most of the training room. I was like, all right, just one room, great, I'll keep moving. Yeah, I needed a training room for the training rooms, I guess.
We're gonna ask you if you want to keep going. You're like, no, I'm good.
You need the game to be like, no, you really want this. But I don't need yes.
What I thought it was asking me, do you want to keep training in that specific room? I was like, no. Why?
Yeah. And it does default to no. So like even if you're just kind of mashing on the button, you're gonna skip it and get sent to the level.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the gadgets were fun. Like the remote control car was kind of cool. I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't really care for the propeller thing that he had. I could never get that to work.
The Skyflyer?
Yeah, that thing was completely useless for me.
If you're using the ninja as much as you were, it already has like the double jump, slow fall. So It's basically the same thing.
Which is what I used all the time. I didn't use the other thing at all.
Yeah, you just got to keep rotating the right stick to keep it spinning.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, well.
But in terms of some of the other levels I want to mention, like it's just like there was like a Boo Town. Is that the one with the pumpkin on the front? There's like a Jason running around.
Yeah, you got like Jason and a werewolf, and like Rich said, the Exorcist reference and the Mummy and all kinds of tropical.
Oh yeah, Mummy was in there. Yeah,
that was great. When you get the bed, and you have to jump up and something to get to the bed, and there's a little monkey sitting there, like Rich was saying, with his head spinning. Oh god, that was hilarious.
It's good stuff.
I laughed. I'm not even a fan of that movie. But it was funny. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed a lot of the movie references, even they made no sense.
Like the Spider-Man ripoff.
Oh yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's in one of the like.
You're talking about the sideways buildings, right?
Yeah, one of the actual TV station themed ones where you go into one of the rooms and you can see on a monitor is this monkey dressed up like Spider-Man climbing up a building, and then you go into the next room where they're filming it and he's just on his hands and knees crawling along the side of a building that's sideways. It's like the old Batman Adam West thing where they would rotate the camera to make it look like he was climbing up a building.
Yeah, cuddles are dumb. Okay, I just don't. I caught, like, as I said, I don't know if I said this in the air, but I caught every monkey in this game because I had fun, which is not like me.
It is fun. And it's not like there's a whole lot of variety to what you do. It's just like, here's a new level, go in and catch this many monkeys, and then you can move on to the next level. And that's it. And then every 4 or 5 levels, you get a boss fight.
Yeah, the boss fights were fine. I had a problem with a couple of them, especially Yellow Ninja, but we'll get there. The first one is what, guy in a dragon mech or something?
Yeah, Monkey White is the old man monkey that's in the yeah, exactly. He's in the big dragon mech.
He was fine. Like even when I had to redo that fight the second time, that was simple as hell. Like I had no problem with it. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
He wouldn't stop repeating his damn lines, though. So
Yeah, there is a lot of that.
I mean, when you play this game with mute, it's fine.
It's not as bad as the last 2 games we played on the show, the Robotech and Gotcha Force, where they repeat their stuff every few seconds.
Yeah, it was a lot. I had the sound on for this game mostly, and I didn't have a podcast going. Majority of the times, I just enjoyed listening to things.
Yeah, the music's pretty decent. That first level, the wedding one, I really like that theme.
Oh, I cracked up when they were coming down, when they were walking down the aisle, a little married couple of wet monkeys, and I pulled my net and just start running after them. That was great.
And they take off.
And I mean, I actually redid every level, or most levels, because after you only are able to catch so many monkeys in a level before it ends the level, and you have to go back into the level to catch whatever monkeys that you didn't get because it just ended the level.
Yeah, it's like Mario 64 where you get a star and it kicks you out.
Yeah, so I would go back and I would get all the monkeys right away, because if I waited, I wouldn't want to go back again.
Except you had to, because when you beat the game, it adds more.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. It was really amusing though. Like there's a part where you go in a football field in one level, you got to get some monkeys, and that was hilarious too. They're running around on the field, and I mean, monkeys can take, like we said, monkeys can take your equipment, but if you go into morph, they can't do anything to you really, and they even have like little robots that you fight too throughout the game, like the little enemies, and they don't drop. My only complaint, they don't drop a lot of health. You do not get a lot of health in this game.
Typically, it's only when you're low on health that they'll be a little more generous with it. But yeah, it's mostly the gotcha coins and the stuff that refills your morph bar.
You get a lot of coins though, which are useful because they don't refill your health after every level. You got to go buy to refill your health, which wasn't terrible.
What's really cool is if you collect them in short bursts, like if you collect 5 and they'll go up to the next value, which are worth 5 each. You can catch 5 of those real quick before they turn back into normal ones, and they go up to 10 each, gold stars.
That was cool.
So it kind of gives you incentive to collect them as quick as possible when they come out.
It did make, I did try to. And I know you can buy like concept art and other stuff. I didn't care about any of that because, I don't give a shit about stuff like that.
Yeah, that's completionist type stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't going down that road. I mean, I was concerned about getting all the monkeys and stuff like that. And I wasn't concerned about anything extra though.
You can buy other chassis for the RC car, though. There's one that makes it go super fast and harder to control.
Oh, that's great. The RC car sucks.
I mean, like the bigger cars.
That's because everything is the analog stick. That was it took a little while to really understand this game is an analog stick game, period. Like, that's just the game.
Well, they sacrificed functionality on that right analog stick for, they could have used the camera on that spot instead. The camera was one of the worst parts for me. Like, that's what made certain, boss fights a little difficult for me.
I think I'm just desensitized to it anymore because what you have to do is tap L1 to center the camera behind you, and I think it's just habit now. I don't really notice it anymore.
I didn't have a problem with the camera, but I agree with Rich that I would have rather had the analog stick be the camera and just tap X to throw the net. Because I mean, the idea that you can put the net in different directions, but that never helped me much.
Yeah, so
I literally and then hit L3 and then grab the monkeys that way and then morph back.
It's just a product of the first game because, like I said, they wanted to use the analog sticks in unique ways, so it's just a carryover from those days.
It feels pretty gimmicky in that sense.
Yeah, I agree. I could have done without that.
It's fine. You get used to it.
Yeah, do you really?
You definitely do, but it always reminds you that, this could have been a damn camera.
Yeah. The last level each set I think is cool too, where it gives you that's where you get the morphs. Is always the last level. Like the first set is that you go to a castle, you get the knight. Second one is the Wild West town where you become a cowboy.
So that is something I did like a lot. I love the variety between each world or different levels. Nothing was like the last one. What's that?
I kept thinking of a Super Nintendo game that we played before.
Which one?
The Live.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all I could think of when I was playing this because I really itching to play Live again.
Yeah, man. I haven't played it in years, so I miss it.
Well, it'll be happening at some point. I keep almost putting it on the show, but then it just hasn't made it because it's not going to do well because no one knows what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
So one day. But that's what I thought of. Every time we're playing the cop, Live, the ninja, Live.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, man. Yeah.
But I really hate. Okay, so that's the question for Mike. Did you have a problem with the blue monkey, or is he simple to you? Because I hated the fucking blue monkey boss.
It's kind of just try and avoid him as he's spinning around and just shoot at him. I know that's.
When was that one?
Monkey Blue is the cowboy one. So he's on his unicycle.
I had a problem, and that's what I meant by the damn camera. That's why I had
Yeah,
an
I
issue.
can see that.
I just stood in one spot and waited for him to drive around again. But it annoyed me because it was hard.
I feel every other boss fight that I've had in the game was pretty easy until I got to him. Like he even the ones after him, he was much harder.
He was an asshole.
I don't know. I think I'm just used to it at this point because I played this so many times.
I had a really hard time with him. I actually died once or twice on him. Because he has a second form or a second part of the fight where he ends up as a gap cannon, and if you die on there, it takes you back to the earlier part where he's riding his little unicycle around in circles around a little town. But at least in every boss fight, they keep dropping more and more enemies, so that way you can keep getting more of the green stuff. The more
Well, and cookies too.
Yeah, hopefully
So
cookies.
That definitely helped with that part. I wouldn't have been able to probably beat that if it wasn't for those coming out.
Yeah, it made it a lot easier, and it was interesting though.
Yeah, the Gatling gun is kind of a pain in the ass. I think you're meant to use the night morph to block all the bullets as you run up to him.
Oh,
I just kind of juked as much as possible.
Yeah,
that's what I did. I stuck to the
ran up and tanked them.
You can take a few hits especially if you have been in full health. That's what I did because I didn't care.
Yeah, you can do a Dan attack, do the math kind of thing, and just run up and tank them.
Yeah, I just wanted to kill him fast as I could. That was the part where I was a little annoyed with the game, was fighting Monkey Blue, but still, like, overall, I was having a blast with this game. Okay. And I just can't get over the fact that I was having so much fun.
Well, you know, I
didn't want to go into this game liking it.
Well, you think I'd just pick garbage?
I mean, when you see it initially, it's like, what kind of kiddie shonen trash is this? And then it grows on you as you just keep going. It really is fun in the end.
Yeah. Well, any game with a set of enemies that call themselves the Freaky Monkey 5 doesn't take itself too seriously.
And a game like that should not take itself seriously.
No.
That kind of premise.
Yeah, agreed. Because they are definitely like, oh god, the Monkey 5, we're talking about them. The third one is the one where I really started questioning this game. You fight Monkey Yellow.
Yeah, who's dressed up like a sumo wrestler despite it being all ninja themed.
Yeah.
His big attack is shooting shurikens with rope attached to them from his nipples.
Yep. That's the one that got me. I didn't catch it until I watched the video. I'm like, what?
So you know the voice actor for Monkey Yellow?
I wasn't paying attention.
That is Steve Blum, Spike Spiegel himself.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen Cowboy Bebop, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time one of his characters has shot rope shurikens from his nipples.
I'm pretty sure it is. That's a fight. You have to transform him into the ninja morph and then jump on the ropes, rung up him, hit him in the face, and then you push something on him. Like, it was a really dumb fight, though.
Oh, you guys didn't play as Yumi, so you missed that Monkey Yellow fat shames her. He's talking about her ratings and how she needs to double check them after the press sees her waistline. Wow. It's like, this is a 10-year-old girl, dude. Calm down.
Yeah, well, I mean, shooting shurikens out of your nipples, I mean, the developers definitely took some liberties in this game.
It's by far my least favorite boss fight, because it's just stupid.
It's fine.
That level before the Emperor's Castle, when you're running around as a ninja, that was like my thing. I've realized, like, I love running around the ninja, fighting with him, jumping on ropes, running across walls. Like, that was probably my favorite level.
Now you need to go buy some Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, that won't go over so well.
No.
So you use where you rotate the right analog stick, you use that for the ninja, right?
What do you mean rotate it?
Where you like spin the right stick and that's the extra thing?
Yeah, I have no idea. Mine never did.
Oh, Mike.
Every morph had like you spin the right analog stick and they have an extra ability.
Not when I played.
Like, that's going to completely neuter the next one, but this one, it makes two doppelgangers move move alongside.
Oh, yeah. I did it once in the training, but I never did it in practical use. I forgot about it.
So, yeah, it helps you attack enemies and capture monkeys easier.
If you capture, they still appear and go and grab them. Grab them.
Yeah,
it's a wider range.
Yeah,
though with the 3.
Maybe.
And every time you attack, they also attack, so it does triple damage.
And you don't
once in a while
anything for using it
when I would accidentally do it.
So how did you do the genie then? If you didn't,
I did it for the genie.
Okay.
I had to, but I didn't do it for the ninja. I didn't do it for the cowboy. I didn't do it for the knight. I did it for the monk. I did it for the superhero thing once in a while.
Yeah, that one's not. They're not super useful. But yeah, the next one is the Genie Dancer right before you fight Monkey Pink. Basically, you control the genie with the right stick and then rotate the right stick to make him a boogie, as Yumi puts it.
Oh, man.
And it kind of distracts all the enemies, which makes them super easy to catch and destroy.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was actually a very useful morph.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the genie at all.
Well, because you had the ninja at that point, and that's really all you need.
It was stupid to me. Like, I just
It was a
wasn't...
very dumb morph, but it was very useful. Too,
I mean, the level was cool because you're in a whole, like, it's called Mirage Town, but you're on a desert with sand pits, and you're running around town like you're Aladdin.
It made me feel like I was playing Kingdom Hearts.
I could see that since Agrabah's in every flipping game.
They had the flying carpets,
Mhm.
everything. It just looked like something stripped directly out of Aladdin or Kingdom Hearts.
But you got to at least like the Indiana Jones references, right, Mike?
God, I forgot this game had it. Yeah. I know it had some. I don't remember what they are now.
I think there's one dressed up. There's a monkey dressed up like him.
Oh, like by a temple or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, at the bottom of that pyramid, there's somebody like just... Yeah, you're right. And I just grabbed his ass real fast, and it wasn't...
Yeah, I did not remember that. I barely pay attention to what they're wearing. Cause
there's a Titanic level. The Titanic is in the water.
And immediately you hit one of the little buttons to make stuff happens, and it sinks.
And a raft
and Rose and Jack pop out on a boat.
That was cool. I laughed at that too, but there is one level, Toy Town, where this is one of the games to be on next season. As I was doing that level, there's a part you have to you're in like a little miniature town, you have to drive your little RC car, and all I could think of was Soul Blazer. All that went through my head. You're with me, right, Rich, on that one? Nothing?
No, I got nothing for you. I played.
Where were you when I was a kid? When you're at my house all the time?
Not playing Soul Blazer.
Apparently,
I thought you meant ActRaiser for a second. But I was like, nope, that's definitely not it.
Soul Blazer is a top-down NX RPG where you have a sword and smack things.
Yeah, I don't recall it, man.
I'm surprised. I know I talked about it when I was a kid. You must have not been listening to me.
Maybe not.
Nintendo RPG. You don't worry. You'll get the chance to play it here.
I have to look this damn thing up now.
But yeah, there's a level. That's what all it reminded me of was a level in that game where you go into a toy model because the toy world in this game is where you have these different sections where like one you can do a race car and one you're in like a miniature little town. Like it's some cool stuff that definitely added a nice little variety where.
Well, I'm glad you like that aesthetic because that other very weird PS2 game that's coming next season is full of that stuff.
What game are you thinking about doing?
The one I told you not to look anything up on, and you looked up the cover and said you'd never seen it before.
Okay, I forgot what it was. So, okay.
We can talk about it after. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, if you don't do it, all right. But some of the other levels I want to mention from this section, I don't remember what Mount Amazing. Oh, the Mount Amazing. That's like you had to climb up. That one I did not like at all.
Is that the one where they introduced the kung fu powers?
I think that's the one where you get the
glider.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Alley.
Oh, yeah. I didn't care for that one too much.
The Sky Flyer. Yeah.
Oh, there is one level that blew my mind was Airplane Squadron.
Yeah, that was nice.
You're on freaking planes, running across planes, jumping from plane to plane as you're traveling through this level, and I was just like, this is awesome. My definitely one, but still awesome.
See, now that level reminded me of other games, just like almost everything else in the game reminded me of other games or movies or something like that. So that reminded me, especially when you got to the big jumbo jet, of like Perfect Dark.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't recall what you're talking about.
You don't remember the jet in Perfect Dark?
No.
It's Air Force One.
I have no.
It's the president. He's like, I assume you have evidence. That's what he says.
Freaking love that cutscene. You can't make accusations like that without evidence. I assume you have some.
I have no recollection of what you guys talking.
I'm sure we'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, I plan on it actually.
You played a lot of Perfect Dark. I'm surprised you don't remember that.
Me too. I have no.
It's like the most famous line in the entire game.
I just don't remember it all.
Also, the name of that stage in Ape Escape 3 is Ape and Away, which is just gold.
There's a fake Superman ape too. You got to grab at one point.
Yep. Yeah, because he's in the phone booth, and you hit the action button. He transforms and flies out.
That was funny. And then there's a one like on the plane. There's one like holding onto the wing about to fall off. Like I like that. It reminds me of the Twilight Zone thing. The monkeys are so freaking funny in this game. Like you get a slingshot too, which was kind of useful. I mean, it's pretty useful, I should say. Not kind
Certain points. I mean, I didn't like the mechanics of it, but it did its job.
Yeah.
And you also get a radar in this game that helps point you the direction of where monkeys are, which is super fucking. You could not do the game without that.
Yeah, it's pretty useful,
especially when you're trying to find monkeys that you missed.
Well, yeah, and if you're in a certain if you're in a certain zone and then you want to make sure before you leave that you got every single one in that zone, just give that thing a whirl and then
I was glad how reliable it was though. Like it was actually really good about finding them in an area.
Yeah,
it was.
And it's really useful for finding the secret rooms later, which we'll get to when we get to.
Yeah, Rich doesn't know what we're talking about, but yeah.
Nope.
I mean, the other thing that we were saying about the genie, I didn't like. The genie you can make the monkeys dance, and I thought that was stupid.
But it makes it so they don't run.
You know, when you go into the ninja, they don't run anyway because you just freaking throw the clones at them and grab them.
They should have had him hypnotize them. But then again, as we said multiple times, it's meant to be for a younger audience, so I get it. Yeah, even though they have monkeys with like their shorts blown off and all this kind of stuff.
Surprised not a Marilyn Monroe monkey at some point.
Yeah.
There's a king monkey on the plane for some reason. I didn't understand. I'm not sure what that was a reference to.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense to me either.
The what?
The king on the plane. He just sitting there on the.
Yeah, I don't know.
Prince Bertus. It's got to be a movie reference to something because there's so many movie references in this game, but I don't get all of them, of course.
Like Beauty and the Beast and the castle level.
Oh yeah. That's pretty good.
I don't think that one triggered, even though it should have.
It's a full cutscene. You walk into the big ballroom and it shows the two that are like doing the fight animation, like they're dancing.
Oh yeah, okay. It should have. I guess I wasn't. I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the boss for the genie is Monkey Pink, who's the token female of the Freaky Monkey 5.
Freaky Monkey 5. Okay.
And I don't know if you recognized her voice. That's Debbie Derryberry, who is 100% just doing her Jimmy Neutron voice.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Oh yeah,
like Jimmy Neutron either.
Oh man,
yeah.
it's 100% that. That's all I could hear is this feminine pink monkey just talking Jimmy Neutron at me.
I must have really
super simple fight though.
Oh yeah, because you just rotate and get the genie dancing, and she just can't do anything.
I didn't like that fight at all.
Really?
I had a hard time with it. I don't know why, but I had a hard time with it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how did that happen?
I make her dance because if you don't make her dance, she runs around a lot, and she kept running away on me.
At least you got to listen to her sweet song.
It was probably one of my least favorite fights.
So it's either that or nipple shurikens. Which one are you taking?
Oh, nipple shurikens. He was least.
Oh man.
Okay.
I had a hard time with her both times. I'd make her dance, but I don't know. I just didn't like. I found out I don't like it when a game won't let me hurt an enemy. Like let's say here they're just absorbing all your bullets and electric charging, and you can't get them and you can't shoot them. I found I really don't like that in games.
Oh, it's like the teleborgs in this game that have the shields on the front of them.
Mm.
Oh, that pissed me off too.
Yeah.
I found that you can use the RC car and drive around under the shield, which is nice.
Or you transform into the ninja and you smack them in the face. Works too.
Yeah, and the kung fu fighter can break the shield.
Maybe just run past them.
Or that.
I stopped fighting people after a while. I'm like, unless there's a monkey for me to catch, even then, like, there's no point in me to fight these little monsters.
Well, unless you're trying to refill like your energy gauge or anything else. But
I killed everything that I came across. Like everything has to die until the last two stages. Then I kind of stopped caring.
God, because it gets a lot. And I had a hard time because at one point in this game you get a gadget where you can swim in the water. I couldn't, for some reason, my left trigger wouldn't work, or my L3, and I couldn't go underwater at first.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't think it was set right. There's also a boxing monkey at one point in a boxing ring.
Yeah. Like surrounded by water too.
It was
almost like a raft.
Eversummer Island, that's that level where it's a weird level. That one took me a little bit. I couldn't figure out what the hell to do. Where you're like I don't even know how to describe it.
I wasn't a big fan of that entire level. Like, yeah.
You're on an island type, and there was a monkey I was missing for a while, and he was just somewhere on a raft.
Oh yeah, with his pants as the little flag at the top.
Yeah,
there was a monkey, if I'm correct, taking a dump on that level.
There's one in a house or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they do put them in really funny situations and funny places, though. I was surprised in the humor of this game.
I don't know if the first two games have them in the costumes. Like, I know they have the different colored pants to kind of denote the traits that they have. It's been around.
I don't pay attention to that either.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to pay attention to that a lot because, I don't know, maybe just because of the graphics of the time, but also how small they are, how far away they usually are. It's Hard for me to tell a lot of times.
It's like I think the blue ones are fast and the black ones always have guns, but
oh god, when monkeys have guns it's not a fun thing. I found out.
Oh no, it is not. And you find that out in the western stage.
Oh man, when they get the submachine guns though, woo, they can take your little ass out though quick.
It sounds like a Western movie when monkeys have guns.
Yeah.
But I mean, they get mean when they get the submachine guns later on in the game. Like they are mean little bastards.
Yeah, especially in that city level, and there's like 3 of them robbing a bank, and they're all shooting at you.
Oh yeah, that's what Ninja's great for.
Yeah, that is true.
I like how they all have different personalities. Kind of like you can, if you go to the radar and you hover over them, it gives like little stars, and it will also like you can. When the radar will show you where they are, I would use that sometimes, like hover around the camera to see where are they, so I can find their little asses and shove them in the net.
Yeah, there's one in the sauna room where he's like on the other side of the wall, and you have to. He says he climbs the wall to get. I climbed a wall to get here, so you have to figure out where he climbed up to get over to where he's at.
I think I did that part. There's a couple I did wrong. Like I went and did it a different way, like using certain like jumping very precisely, and then I found using save states to make it happen. Then I found out, oh, you just go around the corner. I'm like, oh, okay, it happened a couple times in this game, right? I found a different way to do something that was not the intended way because I just wasn't. Right. I don't know what my problem was. I didn't care about any of like the stats. Like it didn't matter how fast they ran. If they attacked me, either way, they're going in the net. So it didn't matter.
Very true.
They got to go in the net.
Their little descriptions aren't as fun as they were in the original game, where they kind of talk about their hobbies, I think, in the first game.
Got nothing.
This one, they're just, this one, they're just kind of stupid little quips, I guess. I don't know.
He can spin the sword around in a circle like Link?
Yeah.
Huh. Never saw that.
He didn't rotate shit, apparently.
I found out I play games wrong a lot of times when I play them, where I just miss things for some reason.
We know.
Yeah, and you spend a lot of time playing them too, which is the crazy part.
I mean, even though that's another thing interesting. Like, even though I'm missing so much in this game, I still had a blast playing it. Like, even though I couldn't go underwater, like there's certain parts you go underwater spikes. Apparently, if you just jump on the spike, you can still go through it just fine.
Makes sense.
I just would I'll just take a hit and go through the spikes that way, like a speedrunner. I don't care.
It was that fun video game thing where it lets you jump out of water for no reason at all. That's not how physics work.
That's okay though. I'm okay with that. The jumping in this game is not the double jump is not bad, except you got to be fast with it. Like you can't. Yeah. I would fall a lot because I would try to wait my double jump, and that does not work in this game. Either you double jump immediately or you don't double jump. Period. Your choice.
Yeah.
That was a little annoying. That was one thing I could have done without.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way, especially on that plane level when I'm trying to double jump and I wait too long. Yeah, plunge a few times.
Use the sky flyer.
That thing's garbage.
It's fine.
I knew that. Like I was either well, I'm gonna use the ninja or the sky flyer, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to. So that's how much I hated it. I guess I didn't want to switch to it.
So we should talk about Kung Fu Alley a little bit. This is a level. So this is where you get the Kung Fu morph mode that I know this is as far as Rich got in the game, but this level is something else. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's something else.
Get the Dragon Kung Fu Fighter morph, which is a mouthful.
It's cool.
Yeah. It's fine. Like, I didn't find it super useful.
No, Ninja's better.
Yeah, mostly because it has limited range because you're punching with the little baskets on your hand or whatever they are.
But it's still that level was level starts off like you're running around in a canyon, and then it changes into where you're jumping on blocks, and then you're in a town. This level it took me a while to do this level the second time to get all the monkeys that I missed because it's not an easy level.
It doesn't help that each level progressively gets bigger and bigger. So by the time you're this late in the game, it's pretty sizable.
This is one where I climbed up a pole, double jumped off a pole with a ninja just right to land on a sign, to then find out after I landed on the sign I was supposed to go around, hit a button, that shot a string right to the monkey. It took me 10 tries to jump up this pole.
But I'm sure you felt super accomplished when you finally got it.
I did. I'm like, wow, this is really hard. Why the hell is this game is not... And then I found out, I'm an idiot. Okay. Real simple what to do. The Kung Fu... I just like the Kung Fu level. I thought it was a cool level. Much as it pissed me off, but it was a cool level. And the monkeys have... I do like the monkeys in little ninja suits, too. Like the red, yellow, and blue suits that they run around in. That was really cool.
You find the ones up on the roof that are have the parachute kite thing attached to them, so they're floating in the air.
Reminded me of Mystical Ninja. You have one random monkey on a kite, hanging on a kite in an earlier level.
That's pretty good.
And one with a mermaid tail on.
So I don't know if that's one of them, but there are 12 monkeys throughout the game that are all kind of representations of the Zodiac.
Huh.
So you find one as a crab, and one of the football players you mentioned earlier has like Tauros bull
Oh yeah.
horns. So they all, I thought it was cool. I always like when something pays tribute to the Zodiac signs.
Realized that what that was. So, Rich, did you get to the monkey red fight, or did you stop right before that?
No, I didn't fully get there.
Okay, well, you missed fighting a monkey who farts at you as one of his attacks.
Oh, great. Oh, that
He literally
sucks.
farts at you. That's his attack. He will turn his butt, and you'll see his monkey butt as the gas comes out.
And he farts to get from level to level of the place you fight him.
Yup. That fight pissed me off.
Yeah, it's not great.
Just when you thought a game like this wouldn't have flatulence humor.
Yeah, because you get caught in the fart, you also get like stunned too, and then so that's not fun.
Yeah.
And he shoots fart projectiles at you too.
So you fight him for a little bit, and then he goes up to the next level, which is a little smaller, and then the third level is just a narrow platform with the spinning blades underneath it. Pretty rough.
It's not my favorite. Even when I had this, when I went through the game the second time and I had the superhero morph, I just shot the hell out of him. He takes a lot of hits.
Yeah.
He's not simple.
So Monkey Red's voice actor, his name is Greg, either Berger or Berger, but he is Jack from Final Fantasy X.
Oh,
so
okay.
Surprised he's not telling Kay not to cry or whatever.
Oh man, I can't remember anything about 10 really, other than
everyone knows that.
Oh, I remember that. It's been too long, hasn't it, Rich? Since I played the game.
I played the remaster.
Oh, I own 3 copies of it, but I haven't played it yet.
Wow, how does that happen?
I don't really know, but I found I own it twice on PS3 and I own it on PS4, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
apparently
it didn't age as well as I wanted it to, but you know.
It's on my list to someday go back to, but it hasn't happened yet.
He's apparently been voiced in Eeyore for a while, too, from Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
This character's a little different than Eeyore.
So is Jet, though.
Fair.
I remember Jet was kind of like a raspy voice, too. I don't know how to go from, I'm sad, Pooh. I don't want to go out with you today. Freaking, you crying again, kid? Or however the hell. It's been a long time.
To a farting monkey.
I could done without this fight. Especially the second time I did it. I was not happy.
This place will be your grave.
I used the first time I used the morph that you get, because I would use whatever you're supposed to use, whatever morph you get in that set of levels for the boss fight.
Yeah.
And then the game gets really freaking strange pretty quickly after this. I think the next level after you beat Red Monkey is Midnight Bay. This one I had a hard time with.
I think this is the one with the Terminator reference.
Yes, it has the 2 Terminators in a room. This is where you have like a giant boat and you go through a bunch of warehouses and things. But yeah, there's a room where you go and there's a switch. You see a guy with a leather jacket and sunglasses with a red eye fighting a gold monkey or a silver monkey, all silver metal looking monkey in a place with like fire and lava.
Yep. Get the conveyor belt and the lava.
That sounds like the coolest part of the whole game.
It's not a bad level. It's just a little complicated because there was one monkey who was fishing that I couldn't find. And there's one monkey underwater that it wouldn't show me where he was, like in the radar exactly, because you have to hit something to make him come out. But
I know what you're talking about.
I had a hard time trying to get all the monkeys in this level. I had to use a guide and watch. Like, oh, okay, I was missing because I was just missing one that I shouldn't have been missing. So it took a little bit, but it's still a cool level. I mean, it's not bad. The Terminator reference is pretty funny though.
The Apeinator.
God, this game gets funny. Like I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I don't think there's anything else about that level that I want to mention. Probably not. I don't remember anything else about Midnight. Oh, you have the stupid UFO enemies that you fight throughout this game too, which are kind of annoying.
Yeah. I just use the cowboy one, just unload on them.
This game does a pretty good job of putting you in vehicles a lot. Like, it likes to do that. There's a few different little mechs that you can drive throughout the game. Like, we were talking about earlier about the rowboats and stuff, and there's a lot of that, though.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like the Batmobile and Arkham Knight levels of being in the vehicle all the time, but yeah, they're in there quite a bit.
At least they make them short enough to where it doesn't feel so bad. Because if I had to use that for an extended period of time, I would not have liked the game.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially that mech where you have to like pull the 2 sticks apart to make it jump. That was weird.
That's how it jumps?
Yeah.
I can make it happen. I had no idea why it was happening or how it happened. I just know it happened.
Yeah, okay. It's not great.
Yeah, it was one of those parts where, I mean, at least they're not frequent. Like, you do fight a few monkeys in them, but it's not a whole lot of the game. Like, you can get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any point when you go to the cameras to film monkeys?
It just unlocks little movies that you can watch, and then the hub.
And that's really it? There's no payoff?
No, there's little shorts for completion's sake.
I guess if you want 100%, right?
Yeah. I got 80% somehow.
Yeah, that unlockable thing that you get at the end counts towards the percentage.
Okay. I wasn't going for 100. I didn't care enough.
Nah.
I did enough in this game. Getting all the monkeys, that was enough. And then the game gets really weird. Like, the final 2 levels of this game are where you're no longer in the movies anymore. Like, you go to so throughout this game, you have this guy with a giant fro called Tomoki, who serves no purpose at all, who's dancing all the time.
Yeah.
And you go to Tomoki City, which, like, every other level previous to this will show, you got to catch X amount of monkeys. Well, this level doesn't show you have to catch any monkeys, so I didn't catch the monkeys in this level at first. I'm like, I guess the game, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go for 100%. I'm just going to beat the game the one time. So I stopped catching monkeys midway through this level. That was a mistake. This is also when you get the superhero suit. At least is that what it's called? That's
the Cyber Ace.
Somebody called it a superhero because he can, like, shoot laser beams and then he can kind of dash, but fly dash very terribly, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't control super well.
Well, the problem is, like, if you dash, let's say you dash and you almost made the platform, but you just want to go back just a little bit, he'll dash again and I'd fall to my death all the time.
I tend to overshoot things when I try to use the dash.
It's only one dash. It's not like, I'll just dash this far. It just dashes whatever the distance is.
Yeah, so I typically just use the Sky Flyer instead.
I would just go to the Ninja, but...
Oh, yeah.
This level gets, like, there are so many, 30 or something monkeys in this level, I think?
29.
There's a lot of monkeys, and, like, you'll have parts you just fight multiple monkeys and freaking, like, little mech suits who was, like, they're shooting missiles at you, and I just skipped them.
Yeah, it gets kind of brutal towards the end.
But it had my favorite monkey reference at one part. You go to the top of, like, this tower, and you see a monkey in a Vader suit.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I laughed hard and he's sitting there, and I don't remember he says anything to you, but I laughed.
I figured you were going to like that one.
I was like, okay, this is great. This made this game even better than I was having fun with it, because it just is... I mean, I caught his ass immediately as soon as I saw him, but I laughed that it was Vader.
I'm surprised there wasn't one dressed like a Xenomorph or something, or Predator.
Yeah, you think they would have done something like that.
Maybe they're not as big in Japan as they are here.
Yeah, and then you have the Tomoki fight, which is where, like, you get more story of this game, where you find out that Spectre, the evil monkey, is going to... His whole master plan is that he made a giant, like, fist.
Yeah, the chop rocket is what they call it.
It's going to chop the Earth in half.
So Spectre will get half, and Dr. Tomoki will get the other half to rule. That's the big plan with their giant IQs, that they're going to cut the world in half so they can each have half of it.
Like I said, Saturday morning cartoon.
100%.
Taking the brain kind of going on.
So we got to talk about Dr. Tomoki's voice actor. He's this little guy named Nolan North. I don't think he's really done anything since then, but
I really don't know North, but then I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you really have to listen for it, and then you kind of hear Nathan Drake in there somewhere.
This boss fight was terrible, though.
Yeah, it's not great.
He's in a mech, and you have to use your little mech, and I never really understood what I was doing. I just knew I could make it work sometimes. So I had a really hard time trying to punch him.
Think you have to, like, click in both sticks at the same time to do a dash thing?
The right click does it, too.
Yeah, okay, must be what
it'll damage your mech, and then your mech will blow up, and you have to go get another mech.
This was one of his first big voice acting things.
It's just a dumb fight. And he's shooting missiles at you constantly. Like, you can't hurt him outside your mech. I did not enjoy this fight at all.
Missiles! It's very flamboyant cry.
Bad level.
I can't wait to hear that.
It's worth it, though.
He's working with Spectre because you find out that he was a test subject for the Peepo helmets, and it, like, got lodged onto his head, so he wears the fro to cover it up. And he got laughed at by humans, so he joined Spectre to get revenge on humans. Yep.
Yeah. Like, more Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
And there's even, like, a Godzilla joke in here where you have two monkeys that are all humongous fighting each other, and one's wearing, like, an alligator helmet. You got to shrink them down in the final level, the Space TV Fortress.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like Godzilla and Ultraman fighting, because the other one's got some kind of robot.
That's how you know this is Japan, because nobody knows who the hell Ultraman is otherwise.
Right.
I do, because there's a bad Super Nintendo game that I had that I did not know how to play.
There's a couple of Japan-only ones I want to check out. Maybe on the show sometime.
Oh, and it's sorry, the last level has a Darth Vader one. I was wrong. But it's the final level that has a Darth Vader monkey.
That makes sense. It's in space.
It was a fun level. I mean, again, that's another level that has way too many monkeys that I was avoiding until I found out I wasn't supposed to be. Because, God, there's a lot of monkeys in that final level.
43.
That's a lot of
According to the wiki.
That's too many monkeys.
That's a lot of monkeys.
That is too many.
And I think this is the level that I told you is the main reason why I don't go for all the monkeys, because there's a moving platform. There's like 4 of them that are flying through the air that you have to catch as you fly by them, which I'm sure the ninja helps.
Oh, the ninja, as long as I had to jump and then hit the button, but I had to wait till after they pass and it would work or something, but I made it work. But it wasn't.
Huh, weird.
Yeah, and then you get to the first final fight.
Spectre himself.
In a giant mech climbing up a tower or something, you have to like break different parts of it, like break the parts that look like little keys turning. Yeah. It's an odd fight.
Yeah, this is where I use the knight quite a bit because he's constantly shooting at you, so I was using it to just block all the bullets instead of dodging them.
Well, I just tanked with my lives and just kept doing that way.
Or that.
I bought max lives at one point because I had already filled out my morph bar, so I had all the morph energy I could get, so I would just do that to tank hits. I didn't give a shit. But it's still a cool fight how you keep, like, you're destroying his, mech armor, and you finally have to go in, like, the face of the mech and destroy the face, and that was a cool fight.
And the other player character shows up, whichever one you don't peg, controlling the air tortoise or whatever they call it.
Yeah, and then you fight Spectre in a chair, shooting stuff at you.
Yeah.
We also mentioned how bosses have, like, special little moves where they say something and it shows their portrait on the screen.
Right. Very, very Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still a cool fight. Like, it wasn't too challenging, though. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it at all.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not as bad as, like, the pink monkey for me or the red monkey. It was just a fine fight. And then you catch Spectre, and I don't think we mentioned this earlier, but when you catch the pink monkey, she doesn't let you catch her. After you beat her, she runs away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which ends up playing a part, because after you catch Spectre, there's some little cutscene that shows, oh no, remember Pink Monkey, how we didn't catch her? Well, she escaped and she let everybody go. And also, after you beat Spectre, you see a cutscene where Tomoki sacrifices himself for that way the big chop thing won't destroy the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get credits, and then the game drops you back in, and that's when you find out Pink Monkey escaped.
You also see during the
credits. So when you get this straight, you have to catch every single monkey you already caught again?
No, she frees the bosses.
All the monkeys you missed, plus you have to catch new monkeys.
Yeah, because after you beat Spectre, you get the last morph gear, which is Super Monkey. It puts you in a giant monkey costume, and you can detect the scent of bananas, where you find the hidden green rooms where monkeys are hiding in the levels.
And it's 4 monkeys sitting there having lunch every time.
The radar is super useful for that, too.
And then you go in there and they scream and run around and you grab them all.
Unless you still have the monkey costume on, then they kind of wave at you like you're one of them.
But you can't get the monkey costume, though.
Right.
So I'd go in there, switch to the ninja, and start grabbing their ass as fast as I could.
Yeah.
Great.
Every time.
I never realized hearing a monkey shriek in fear as my ninjas grab him was a very exciting feeling. Oh, yeah, it's
pretty
dumb.
Good.
I was pissed off when I found out. And you also have to refight all the boss fights, too. Or all the 5 monkey bosses you have to refight.
Yeah, but the fights themselves aren't any different.
No, exactly the same. I was just like, why?
Except you actually catch Pink that time.
Yeah. And I actually was surprising. I actually went through and did it all. Like, I was not expecting to do it, but I went and caught every monkey.
I caught the Freaky Monkey 5 again, and that was as far as I got, because I was missing pretty much all the monkeys in the last 2 levels.
You beat them before.
Yeah, I have.
So
once or twice, I think I got all the monkeys.
That's the thing, is I was so into this that I felt the need to do it, which is not me.
It just means you're having a good time. If it
was nice.
compels you to do the rest, I mean, it's a good thing.
It doesn't always happen with the games we play on the show, like Robotech. I just wanted that game to be over with. Name what got you for it, so it was nice.
Yeah, this is the first one since Ocarina, I think, that I've actually played the entire way through.
There's been some bad games lately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was kind of cool. Like, I was not happy I had to go back through the levels. I'm like, I do not like when a game makes me do that, but I was okay with it. Like, I wasn't upset that I had to do it. I used a guide to see where they were, but other than that, I wasn't upset.
It's more game that you get to play. It's not more game that you have to play.
Right, and at least the whole time up to that point, you're having a good time. Whereas, like, you're doing like Ghosts and Goblins or some trash, then you got to do it all over again. No, it's not the same thing.
Didn't we find that out by accident when we first played on Super Nintendo back with emulators?
Yeah, well, we finally beat it, and no, you didn't.
God, that was like, I remember we did it with save states where like Rich was playing, and as soon as he gets somewhere safe, I hit the save button.
Yeah.
I did on Switch not too long ago because of the rewind.
Oh yeah.
That's neither here nor there. But so after you go and catch all the monkeys, refight the boss fights, then you get the final boss, which is Spectre again, but this time there's no giant mech. You just fight him.
Yeah, that one I don't remember the bonus fight.
I'm trying to pull it up right now because I don't really remember it either. I think he's just in the chair and he says, "Oh, I give up," and he puts you in a cage, and then he says, "Actually, I lied." And then you just fight him the same way. Pretty much, you smack him a bunch of times, but then the floor is getting like falling apart or something on you. It's not too bad.
Okay.
It wasn't a hard fight, and I was like, I actually had fun. I didn't want to stop. I love this. This game was great. It's fucking great, and it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And you also get a few mini games that I didn't bother with. One, you get a monkey throw game or something.
I didn't try any of those.
Like I'm sure I tried them back in the day, but I couldn't tell you what any of them are.
There's so many different like shops and everything you can go into. The only one that matters is the one where you buy like your energy and your cookies. And then the only thing I went through in the main hub was saving my game. That was it. And they got all these other things that seem kind of pointless.
Yeah. Well, you can one game you can throw monkeys where you like spin in a circle and you let it go at the right spot to launch them down the football field. The other one is a fighting game called Ultima Ape Fighter, where you pick a different monkey and you fight monkeys in a 2D fighter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you get anything out of doing this, or is it just another
fun,
pointless thing?
Pointless. And then if you beat the game, you unlock another mini game called Meso Gear.
Yeah, Meso Gear Solid.
Oh,
that's what the screenshots are that I put in there.
Yeah, I did see that.
It's literally it's like an hour-long mini game where you play as Snake.
Peepo Snake. His name is Peepo Snake.
You literally sneak around and go through like stuff from Metal Gear games.
And Mike was all excited until I told him that it uses the Ape Escape control scheme, not Metal Gear. So it's kind of jank.
Did you really think it was going to use Metal Gear?
We're still going to play it. I'm just waiting until later, but I 100% want to record a mini where we talk about that and the apes in Snake Eater.
I would definitely check that out. I mean, now I get to see the other end of it now. I never thought I would ever see that.
It's a very strange crossover. Metal Gear and Ape Escape. And
it's like a full-fledged game almost, too, from the look of like an hour long. That's not bad for a mini game. That's an Xbox Live Arcade game right there.
Yeah.
Kojima had some sake with one of the developers or somebody from that game, and one night, and was like, "Hey, we should just do a crossover." Yeah, why not?
Plus, that was that era where you would put a full mini game in that, like something like that, just because.
Yeah.
I mean, today's era, it would be DLC.
Right. $5. Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, things were different back then. I mean, even demos were looked at different back then.
Oh, I miss demos.
Shit, I mean, buying Zone of the Enders just so you can play Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah. Man, who would do that?
Not like I did that.
Sounds like all three of us on the call.
I didn't. I just played his copy.
Oh, no. Yeah, I bought it too.
I played way more time on that demo for MGS than I ever did Zone of the Enders.
Zone of the Enders is like a 3-hour game.
Well, and it's tiny. Obviously, it's super short, but...
And then Brave Fencer Musashi came with Final Fantasy VIII demo.
Yeah, that demo's bad.
Yeah, and I didn't like Musashi either.
I like Musashi.
Musashi's a good game!
Oh, God. I can never get into it. I tried. But
I can't ruin an episode or I'd make that reference right now. No, Zone of the End is about like a 5-hour long game, but yeah, everyone bought that game only for freaking Metal Gear Solid 2 demo.
Yep. And then they tried it again with another Zone of the Enders like remaster or something like that. And they put the Metal Gear Rising demo in there.
Yeah, but that game
wasn't as successful.
Nowhere near the hype of Metal Gear Solid 2.
No, and I kind of liked Rising. Now, if I barely remember it, but I do remember kind of enjoying it. But yeah, I was nowhere close to anything like 2.
It's not bad. From what I remember, Rising when I played it, it is not a bad game. It's a
I know
little
people
annoying.
like it quite a bit.
We'll do it eventually when we finish up the rest of the series that we barely touched on Metal Gear. Considering how long the show's been going on, over 2 years, we only covered 3 Metal Gear games.
I mean, we could always do one next week if you really wanted to.
We are. We covered 3: Metal Gear Ghost Babel for Game Boy Color Episode 7, Metal Gear 2, I don't remember the episode, and then Metal Gear Solid, and that's it. So not very many considering how big that series is. Oh, any last thing to say about Ape Escape 3 before we move on to questions?
I think we covered it pretty well.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, unfortunately, due to somebody completely forgetting that today not ask questions at all until an hour ago when I started recording this podcast, I do have 2 comments, though.
Oh, wow.
I completely forgot. I was like, wait a second. Like, that's how you know I don't know what the hell. I'm tired, I guess. All right, from the Giant Bomb group, I have from John Bells. What are they escaping at this point in the story? They're not really escaping. They're more terrorists in this one.
Social terrorists.
I mean, they're trying to cut the world in half and then give half to the monkeys. They're terrorists.
Yeah, like you do.
And then the other question I have from the Overblood group, Quentin Crow, all Ape Escape is good.
Correct.
I don't know that yet, but I'll find out. I mean, if Mike puts more on the show, I'll play them. I'm not upset to play more now. I'm actually excited to play 2 and other ones.
So is that all there is? There's only just the 3? There's no spin-offs? There's no nothing?
There are spin-offs. Boy, are there. I had the list pulled up. There's
4 main entries: Ape Escape, Ape Escape 2, Ape Escape on the Loose, PSP game.
So,
Ape Escape 3.
Yeah, On the Loose is a remake of the first game for PSP.
Are the controls better?
They're definitely different because the PSP doesn't have a right stick, so it would have to be.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, oh man, they got to be better.
And then spin-off, you have Ape Escape 2001 for Japan only, PS2. Ape Escape Million Monkeys, PS2, Japan only. Ape Escape Racing, PSP. Ape Escape Saru Saru Big Mission, PSP, Japan only. Ape Quest, PSP, no idea what that is.
No idea.
And you have a bunch of party games, mostly Japan only.
Yeah, Pumpkin Prime, I know. Pumpkin Prime and Academy both came out here.
What was the latest release?
Looks like 2010 was PlayStation Move Ape Escape for PS3.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said this is made by Sony. I don't remember if we said that at the opening of this.
Oh, yeah. No, we did not. But that's why they wanted to show off the DualShock so bad.
And apparently in Astro's Playroom, there are some of the bots that reenact Ape Escape scenes. And he's also in Spike as a playable character in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
That is true. I like that game.
You ever play that game?
I did. It's fine. It's not Smash by any means, but it's okay. Load times are too long for a fighting game.
It's just odd that they made a fighting that they did that.
They really want to cash in on Smash.
I don't think it worked, did it?
Nah.
They don't really have the same type of titles though either. Like Smash only works because you have Nintendo is just Nintendo.
Nintendo, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't work without Nintendo. So.
No, not unless every third party came together.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of them came together for that, but they own more studios now than they used to. Yeah,
Capcom could do their own. I mean, they have with Marvel vs. Capcom, but...
Yeah, I mean, they have so many fucking characters.
I want Konami versus Capcom.
Yeah, but that would be a pachinko machine. Fucking Konami.
It'd be like Pokemon where they each make their own game, and Capcom's is this full-fledged fighter, and with a bunch of paid DLC, and then Konami's is just a pachinko machine.
Yeah, what made them become just pachinko machine company?
I don't know. They've been trying to come back, but then they released stuff like that Metal Gear Survive or whatever it was, which is...
I really want to play that.
You really don't.
I'm going to make you one day when we get there, so...
I've played some of it. You really don't.
Have you ever played it, Rich?
I have not. I mean, I've come close to getting it because they've had some really good sales on it, but that never compelled me to buy it.
I played it when it came to Game Pass for like an hour and a half, and I had my fill of it.
I mean, I heard if you remove the MGS label from it and you just treat it as a survival game, it's not bad. But I mean,
it's no MGS at all. There's nothing in it. I'd rather play out Fallout 76. You want to go for bad survival games?
Okay. I don't know why. I have a hankering to try it.
Well, you try it before you put it on the show.
Yeah, no, I'm going to try it on the air. It'll be when we go live eventually.
If I could find it for cheap, I would definitely try it. I mean, because I'm into survival games as is, especially co-op ones, so wouldn't mind it.
I suppose if we played a co-op, we could probably make that work. I wouldn't want to play it by myself again.
It'll be a while though, because I have I want to get through most of the series, and we got a ways to go still.
Mm-hmm.
All right, should we go on to shelf, stack, or box? We added a new one since you were on here last, Rich. I don't think we had it back then. We decided to add a gray area now with stack, where shelf means something you really like that you want to show off to your friends and show off to people you're proud of. Stack means something that you might not want to show off as something you want to play again, and box means something you're putting in storage.
Got it. Okay, well, that makes things a little easier for me.
Mike, why don't you go first?
Like Rich said, it's going in the box. Like, screw this game. I never want to see it again. No way, this is going on the shelf. I love this game. Like, whenever I don't know what to play, oftentimes I'll just pop this in and go around the first 3 levels and
Not
catch
Lone
movies. No, I beat that game and threw it across the room once. That was fun. My wife loves that story. But no, this game's great. Like, if you haven't played it, if you haven't touched the series, like Mike and Rich here, like, you don't have to play the first 2 games. Just jump into this one. It's good. Go play it.
Yeah.
And I'll go next. I came into this having no desire to want to play it. I tried to get Mike to take it off the show. Would not work. He wouldn't listen to me. I just like, fucking this game. Like, I don't want to play this. And I went into this and I had a great time. I had more fun playing this game than I've had playing a game in a while. Like, this was a beautiful blind experience to go into with no expectations, no idea what I'm playing, and just had fun. And this is definitely going on the shelf. I'm so glad I got to play it for this show.
Awesome.
How about you, Rich?
Well, this particular game, it made me weirdly nostalgic for something that I've never played before. It made me nostalgic for like a certain time period. Like I feel like back in middle school, I would have, I mean, even though this is 2006, but you know, I feel like if I was in middle school playing this game, I would have really enjoyed it or gotten into it more and maybe wanted to go get all the monkeys and things like that. It made me just nostalgic for that time period of games also, you know. But going into it blind, I was sort of excited for it because I had a slight interest in wanting to play it, and I wasn't let down. You know, I had a good time playing it and was pleasantly surprised for sure. But when you guys told me about the stack thing, I think that's where I got to go with it. I mean, it's something that I can't really see myself revisiting too much. You know, maybe here and there, if like 6 years down the line, I was like, you know what? Wasn't a bad game. Let me just kind of refamiliarize myself with it. And it's not bad enough. I mean, the controls and all that, you know, it's a whole other story. It's not bad enough to where I would want to box it. So I think we'll go stack on this one.
I'm glad we introduced that because for stuff like this, because it really fits in that middle ground.
And my unofficial rating, well, I'm not going to shrine it either.
I am really excited to play more of the series now, though.
I definitely, after finishing this, I want to go back and check out 2, just because I know I played it back in the day, but I don't remember much of anything from it.
Well, you know how to play it. Put it on there.
Well, it won't be next season, but
I'm glad I ran into it. I wish. I mean, you said there was a PSP remake of the first. I mean, I feel like this kind of game belongs on something like that more so. Like, this is a type of game where I just want to pick up, throw on my PSP for like 20, 30 minutes, have a good time, and then, you know, come back to it again whenever.
I think I'm going to check out that PSP remake and I'll let you know how it is.
Yeah, do let me know because I might have to get that done.
Hey, it might be on the show.
Yeah, entirely possible.
I'd play another game. I mean, this is definitely. I want to see more of the series now, and the rest part, there aren't that many of them.
Yeah, not that came out here.
I mean, I kind of want to try some of the other ones at some point, but
yeah, I'm already looking at some of the Japan only ones, so
I'm sure there's a way to play them.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure somebody's translated them, and I can just throw a patch in and play them.
Well, I mean, the story, like we said, it takes a backseat, so you can pretty much piece together what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, most games have to have some type of story, so they just had to throw it in there. I mean, it is what it is, but it's not what it's for. It's like playing the original Doom games for story. It's not what you're there for.
And apparently, Ape Escape 2 is 2 hours longer than this game.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That this game was the perfect length. Like, it wasn't too long. I could have done without having to go back and catch monkeys, but it wasn't too long. It was just the right length for me. Like, games get too long. Like Gotcha Force last week, it got too long.
Oh man, that game.
It was all you. That was all Jeff Cork.
That was Jeff Cork. But I would have picked it eventually. But yeah,
we'll blame all his fault. I do want to try Ape Escape Pumpkin Prime though now.
Party game.
No, it's not a party game.
I thought that was one of the
It's
party
just a side
ones.
game.
Doesn't sound like a game. It sounds like a certain kind of movie.
Yeah, but no, it's not one. It's one of the spin-offs, not one of the party ones. Or a sex game, as someone else is saying here.
Game or movie.
All right, and I'll introduce what we're talking about next week, because this is my pick. We are going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater next week. So that should be fun to go back to.
Snake.
Well, great timing for Ape Escape to come right before it.
Yeah. It wasn't planned, by the way.
It was not, no.
Because I didn't know about the Metal Gear references in this game or anything. I mean, I knew about the Metal Gear, Ape Escape references in Metal Gear because we played that back in the day.
I did not make that connection until Rich just now said it.
No, he's right, especially the Meso Gear.
Yeah. Yep.
I really want to play that now, but I got to wait until... Yeah, but let me know, Rich, when you beat Ape Escape 3 and you get that. We'll plan out a recording for that.
That's fine. Yeah, it should be pretty damn soon. I'll just finish up the rest of it.
Okay. You don't have... because you don't have to catch all the monkeys. You just have to beat the game and you unlock it. Yeah. It's like 1,500 coins and you just buy it and then you're good to go.
Nice.
I mean, I recommend catching all the monkeys because this game is awesome.
I still might. I mean, especially after I'm done with, the other game that we're going to be doing soon. Like that, would be very easy to knock out.
So, and anyone who's listening to this wondering where their question was, I apologize that if you posted afterwards, I completely forgot for the first time somehow. I don't know how the hell I forgot to post questions like I do every week.
Didn't want to play the game. Couldn't get a guest for it. Forgot to post questions. Jeez.
I don't think I posted questions for it until just now.
I don't remember seeing the post in the Facebook group.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I didn't do it. I just completely forgot about it for some reason.
You're having too much fun catching monkeys, man.
That's right.
I beat this game a week ago. But I don't know. I just was just sidetracked. It's been an interesting week.
Didn't want anyone to besmirch the good name of Ape Escape 3.
I don't think you can.
There are definitely people that like 1 and 2 more than this one.
I mean, this was a really good game. Like I was really surprised. This is one of the best games we played this season. Not saying much, but
4 games in, and the other one was Ocarina of Time. Yeah.
Yeah, Ape Escape 3 is definitely better than Ocarina.
You know what? It was more fun for me because I didn't know what the hell was going on. So every time it's like, oh, do this. Okay, do this. All right, memory, you got it.
And tell Lena you said that.
You
can deal with her.
This was a new experience, or Ocarina of Time was revisiting an old friend.
Right.
And it was nice to have a new experience for a change, because on this show lately we've been doing a lot of nostalgic and not a lot of something we never touched before.
Oh,
it was worth it for sure.
I got more oddities coming. Just wait till next season.
I got to start doing games that I just never got around to that are well known.
Yep, I got one of those too.
Okay. Well, next week, I played Metal Gear many times, but we'll talk about that next week. All right, I think that's all we need to say for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Rich, you have nothing to plug, do you? Right?
No, not really. I mean, I have an Instagram that I sort of use, RedFox59. So there's that, but nothing else.
I haven't posted anything on Facebook, Instagram this week because Gotcha Force is our game that I'm supposed to be promoting, and there's nothing to post for Gotcha Force.
Just screenshots of the Borgs, I guess.
Even then, there's barely any online.
I've done quite a bit.
That's more work than I normally. I like to go to one website that I use and I go there if they don't have anything. So that's been an off week for me with this stuff, apparently. But hey, all the recordings were done on time.
Yeah, that's what's important, as long as they get posted on time.
Yeah, they're all posted on time. I didn't forget like that one time. All right, I want to thank everyone for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, there are no other Ape Escape games yet on this show, so there's none of that. But definitely go check out our other game episode. We do movies, we do comics. We are currently going through the MCU. We just released Ant-Man not too long ago, and you should be hearing Sin City at some point around this. Because why not? Because Bill.
You shouldn't be, but you probably will.
It gets posted right before this comes out because of Bill. You blame Bill Tucker for that one.
Yep, I do.
And we do comic episodes. Definitely go check those out. And if you want to give a shout out to our awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Bobby, a.k.a. Mike Stoney from his EP, Bite the Bullet, Song of the Cool Kid Squad. So definitely go check him out. There'll be a link to his YouTube channel in the show notes of every single episode. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm finally on YouTube. It only took me over a year and a half, or 2 years. So definitely please follow us on there and subscribe. I need my 100 subscribers so I can finally make a custom URL instead of my screen name. So please subscribe. Even if you don't listen to it on YouTube, just subscribe. That's all I need. Just subscribe. All right. We will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.